This podcast is sponsored by nobody. Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be welcoming the man, the myth, the legend, George Hardy. He played the dad in Troll 2, celebrating its 35th anniversary, and it's going to be an honor to have him on today. He was a dentist who had an acting background, and we're going to talk about that. It's crazy how life turns out, and you find out these things about actors you grew up watching and stuff. He's going to be my second guest after having the wonderful Deborah Reed on during the pandemic, who sadly passed away 2 years ago of cancer, and she was going through it during our interview as well. It's going to be great to have George on. He's gotten back into the acting game. He's done movies since then, and he's doing the conventions and all that stuff. And it's going to be a great talk. This is a fantastic month of Halloween, October, as I keep saying, and it's going to get even better. It's so friggin' awesome. Also, rest in peace, Lydia Hannibal. I found out last night that she died this summer, and I didn't even know it. She was in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes in the first Ted movie. She was just a fantastic actress, funny lady, and just an awesome person. I was going to invite her back on to do a nerd out this fall, but sadly, that can't happen now. And I'll just treasure that long interview we did 2 years ago. Go take a listen to it. She was a truly great person. So yeah, here is my interview with George Hardy. Hey George, welcome to the show, sir. How are you today?
Oh, hey, Tommy, how are you?
I am fantastic. I hope you're having a lovely day.
I am. Yeah, thank you so much for the call. Sorry I couldn't just do it real quickly, but yeah, here we go. Yeah.
Yes. So, going back in time, did you gravitate toward acting early on in your childhood?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. You know, I did in high school some plays and all, and then then I went to Auburn University, and
Mm-hmm.
I was a cheerleader down there, hamming it up. I played high school football and all that, and
Mm-hmm.
ended up, I wasn't a big 6'4" guy kind of guy, but only a 5'8". So anyway, but the next best thing to get on the field was to do that. So I did a lot of things in front of people, doing
Mm-hmm.
skits and all that, and in college. So I was hamming it up out there. Yeah.
Yeah. What made you want to get into cheerleading?
Oh, wow, good question. I was in a fraternity
Mm-hmm.
at Auburn, and several of the guys were, and I just went out, just for the fun of it. I thought, this is crazy, this is silly, but it was kind of a fun thing. Most of the guys that went out, and Auburn is really a spirited school. I mean, even we're having a losing season, really bad, and the stadium's still full right now, and
Mm-hmm.
people go crazy just to go to an Auburn football game. And that spirit has lasted, 50 years since I was back, almost 50 years ago, that I was a college cheerleader. It
Yeah.
was just a heap of fun. I just did it for fun, just for the spirit of it. And I met a lot of people that way. So it's just about making connections to me.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I had no idea
Yeah.
that male cheerleaders existed until I saw Will Ferrell do it on Saturday Night Live
That's hilarious.
because my whole life, man, it's always been girl cheerleaders. But then I find out it
Yeah,
was a
yeah, yeah.
thing back in like the 50s, 60s, 70s. There was male cheerleaders.
Oh, yeah, well, there are now. I mean, there's squads all over the United States. I mean,
Yeah,
there are
it's
more male cheerleaders, now, and that's it's just yeah, it's just they all have couples. I would say, and all their major colleges have men and women cheering, and then I think Texas A&M only has just men that cheerleaders. I guess the yell leaders or whatever. little different, but yeah, it's just traditions carried on years and years now.
Yeah, it's crazy. So after you graduated, is that when you had trouble getting work and you decided to go into dentistry?
It wasn't about getting trouble getting work as far as acting goes, or something along that line. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like did you go on a lot of auditions and just get nothing, and then
Oh, no, no, no! I wouldn't do anything like that at that point in my life. I was more geared, for education at Auburn, and so I was in pre-med, pre-dent, and pre-vet, and all, pretty much the same curriculums, pre-vet, pre-dent, and optometry. And I ended up was going down the hall one day at Auburn, and there's a group of guys going through, and students all in white coats, and I said, "What are these people doing?" And there was a school of dentistry from the University of Alabama, and the student affairs director was in the hall with them, and he said, "What are you?" He said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "From Alexander City." He said, "Well, I grew up right next door in Dadeville." And he goes, and he says, he looked at me and goes, "What have you decided what you're going to do yet?" I said, "No." He says, "Well, while you're deciding, you're going to be a dentist." He says, "What he told me." He just said, "You're going to go to dental school." I go, "What?" It's like, oh well, So next
Yeah.
thing you know, I applied to dental school and I got in, and he was a great mentor for me. He was head of the radiology department, and then I met other amazing mentors throughout my life, and in college and in dental school. So then, yeah. So there you go. I
Yeah.
practicing dentist for the last 45 years, I guess I've been. Yeah.
Wow.
Still practicing. Yeah, yeah.
Did you come from a family of doctors?
Actually, no. My dad was in textiles. You asked really great questions. My dad was in
Thank you.
textiles down here in Alabama, and my dad was inducted in the Sporting Goods Hall of Fame back in 1984. He worked for Russell
Hmm.
Corporation, Russell Athletic. Dad was the president of Russell Athletics, and he invented the tearaway jersey that
Hmm.
the great Johnny Musso ran with. A lot of the great running backs used my dad's jersey until they made it illegal.
Yeah.
So Dad was inducted with the same in the same day as the guy that invented the aluminum bat there
Wow.
in Chicago back in '84. So Dad was, in his own way, just pretty. He's kind of an icon in the sporting goods field. Yeah.
Wow.
So that there were no doctors in my family at all. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the aluminum bat was invented in 1984. That far back.
Oh yeah, it was even before that. You weren't for inventing that, so I probably in the '80s that the aluminum bat was invented, or I don't know how that all came about, but
Yeah.
yeah, God, yeah. My dad would talk about meeting people like. Have you ever heard of the material called spandex?
Of course.
Spand.
Yeah.
Sure, Dad was really good friends with Dick Spangen, who invented spandex. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing to be like somebody inventing the duct tape.
Yeah.
Dad ran around with a lot of those people, and yeah, it was really interesting back in the day when textiles were so strong. Where I grew up, it was a textile community, like a lot of small towns in Alabama are, or actually were now, because everything moved offshore. I think when Ross Perot came in and wanted to do the free trade. I may be wrong on the history of this, but the free trade agreements back in the '70s and '80s, then everything went offshore, and sure enough, our little town kind of collapsed, and now it's become. I live on a lake, Lake Martin, and so now it's become more of a beautiful retirement community, which has saved our area here, because
Hmm.
I live on a beautiful lake. It was the largest man-made lake in the world 100 years ago. Next year, in fact.
Nice.
So yes, beautiful reservoir here. in the state of Alabama, near Auburn, actually.
Nice. So
hmm
how does Troll 2 come into your life?
No, how about that? How did that all of a sudden happen, right? So
Mhm.
I went out after dental school, and in 1980, gosh, Pete, 81, I finished dental school in 81, and so in 82, I ended up in Salt Lake, and I went out there, and I was teaching exercise classes, and back in the day, and I remember in one of my classes, someone came up to me and said, "Hey, you want to take some acting classes with us?" And I just went, "Oh, well, shit, that sounds like fun." And so I took from an acting coach. Her name was Lillian Chauffin. Lillian was from France, and
Mhm.
she was Linda Gray's acting coach and Raquel Welch's
Huh.
acting coach and several. So she would come in from Los Angeles and fly in and teach us some classes. And through that, there was an agent there, and she said, "Why don't you go up? There's a little movie up in Park City they're auditioning for." I had no idea what I was doing. I just cold read a script, and I went into a room of about 8 or 10 folks from Italy, and no one smokes in Utah, especially at that time. No, still don't. And
Yeah.
I went into a smoke-filled room. I couldn't even see what I was reading. There was so much smoke in the in the room. There were
Yeah.
8 or 9 guys, and they were auditioning. And I felt like going in an Escher picture.
Mhm.
Lined up, and all these guys went in. And the next day, I get a call, and I get that I'm the play the dad. I remember I was 34 at the time, and I call, and I was practicing. Oh my God, how many days? It was a 13-day shoot, and I got paid $100. And it wasn't so much about the money; it's just about doing the experience. And so
Mhm.
I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." So then the story goes that it's been in Best West Movie, the documentary I made with Michael Stevenson, my on-screen son in the film.
Yeah.
The story goes that we tried to read the script and we just couldn't. It was Italian translated over to English, but without any help from anyone. And we were trying to decipher the script and read it, and it was so discombobulated. We really had a challenge trying to figure out what it meant. So we just winged it, as all of us non-actors were, that we got chosen to do this up in Park City. And here we are, I think there's about 12 or 13 actors that had
Mhm.
done some, but not, it's just all B-roll stuff. And it would be, some of the guys were, and the bottom line is we just did whatever they told us to do. We just did. You want us to say it this way? Yeah, say it this way.
Yeah.
So, but the challenge was that everyone was from Italy,
Mhm.
pretty much, except for the wardrobe, and no one spoke English. So
Yeah.
we were just trying to do the best we could. And
Yeah.
that's the train wreck that happened with Troll 2 that really became a little miracle in itself.
Yeah, I remember Deborah telling me, yeah, it was partially Italian speaking, and there was some English, but not a lot, and it was yeah, it was a pretty interesting experience for all involved. But
Yeah,
when you got the script, it was
yeah.
called Goblins, right?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And you mentioned Deborah Reed, who played the witch in the movie. I played the dad, and I got to know Deborah. In fact, I listened to your podcast on Deborah this morning. It made me really miss her.
Yeah.
She's now passed away now, and I think you did that 5 years ago, and it made me sad
Yeah.
to hear her of a live voice. And so yeah, there's several of the groups that's no longer with us, but yeah, but yeah, we were just trying to figure it out, and it was called Goblin at the first, and we didn't know what, and then
Hmm.
they changed it to Troll to go on the coattails of the actual Troll
Yeah.
movie that had come out in '87. And so it was a couple of years later, and they're trying to go off the coattails of that, because it was
Yeah,
It was named after.
this was at a time when they did in name only sequels because
Right.
the movie would be similar to a previous movie. Like there's all these summer camp movies. They called them Meatballs Part
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, like that. And
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I do have to say the goblins in this movie are very similar to the trolls in the original Troll, but not quite because that was a Charlie Band production.
That's right. You're exactly right.
Now, I
It's
loved
so
the
funny,
original
dude.
Troll so much. I didn't want to see this one for years because I loved the original cast, and I knew that the original cast was
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
in this. You know?
I mean, Sonny Bono, Angela Lockhart,
Yep.
Julia Louise Dreyfus. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious, some pretty big names there. I think there's a few more in there too.
Yeah. I will
Back
never
in the day.
forget. I will never forget when Julia Louis Dreyfus was on Leno and he showed a clip. She was pissed.
Oh my gosh, how funny!
Yeah. Oh.
Well, that little billionaire can just enjoy being in a really bad movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we have to comment on Deborah's performance as Credence because
Yeah,
I don't know how that woman didn't become a household name. She is brilliant in this role, and
he really was.
through her various
Mhm.
transformations, I can imagine it was hard for everyone to keep a straight face because she was so funny. You know.
Oh, she was great. She just overplayed it. Just overplayed it.
Hmm.
You know. In fact, when I learned a lot from Deborah overplaying that because I'm in another film called Sis, a Tyler Russell film,
Uh-huh.
and I played a crazy wild dermatologist,
Yeah.
berserker crazy, kind of like she did in Troll 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so honored I got to talk to her, and she told me,
Yeah,
beforehand that it was probably going to be her last interview, and
yeah,
I could just hear it in her voice the whole way through. But it was a lovely interview,
yeah.
very lovely.
Very. She was lovely. Period. She just really was a sweet lady. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe she's gone. She
Did
would be. I'm 71 now. Just
mhm.
turned 71 last week. Deborah would be 70, probably 3 or 4, probably 74. I
Uh-huh.
think. Yeah. Now. Mhm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
Did you and Margot Prey have to wear goblin makeup in the front seat of the car when Josh has that delusion, or was that like stunt people or puppets or somebody?
No, I think we were
Hmm.
just like that. We just, I don't even think we had too much makeup on in the whole time that I was,
Hmm.
filming Troll 2. There wasn't too much going on there. I don't think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Paul Stevenson, when he was a kid, he was a dead ringer for Jimmy Hunt in Invaders from Mars. I was watching again recently, and I was like, "Oh my God, he looks like Jimmy Hunt in Invaders from Mars." I mean, dead on, like he could be his grandson or something.
Oh, wow. I don't, yeah, gosh, you must watch a lot of films. I'll
Yeah,
bet you, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
I got to
Yeah.
interview Jimmy before he passed away as well. So,
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I don't get to talk to Michael a whole lot. He's got 3 girls, and so he's really busy, and his parents are not, they're ailing now at this point. So I
mhm.
really don't get a chance to talk to him much. Just when we can, just talk to, him just when we can. Yeah.
Did you say to yourself, "Why am I reading a vegetable cookbook? Waiting to be seen at in that one scene."
Oh gosh. Well, yeah, back in the day, we just didn't know what was going on again with the script, and
Hmm.
I'll never forget sitting down. And for the people that are maybe listening into this, if you all have not watched Troll 2, it is truly a religious experience, and it is a life changing, isn't it? And it's just these scenes that we're talking about maybe are crazy, but uh, yeah, the big eye opener for me was, as I said, we didn't know what was going on, but when we sat down and there was green icing on corn on the cob,
Oh yeah.
and then and then we had to freeze at the table with liquid green Kool-Aid or whatever. I thought, wow, now this is, I don't know about this food. I'm not sure. We were trying to be so serious, and then it went, boy, this is really going to get campy. Then there was a sense of embarrassment going in, to these, we just, it's just so campy at that point when the green icing was in the corner of the cob. I thought, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So,
do fans still quote to you, "You can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it."
all the time, every day,
Uh,
pretty much. I get a cameo or whatever. People just love the scene, I'm sure Darren Ewing gets his "oh my god" scenes.
yeah.
Wants people to repeat that. So yeah,
It's classic. Did making
yes.
did making the movie mess up your dentistry schedule? Like, did you have your own practice?
No, like I
Uh-huh.
said, it was just a 13-day shoot. No, no, no. No, what messes up my schedule more is shooting now. It doesn't mess it up. I arrange it to make it happen. But yeah, I just no, I was able to do it. I think we film in the morning, and I'd see some patients at night or something. I can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah. Did any of your patients recognize you after the movie was over, like when it came out and
Oh
all?
well, yeah, it's taken years now for that. I
Mm-hmm.
think Troll 2 ripens like a bottle of wine or whatever. So
Yeah.
the older it gets, the more classic it becomes, and the more fans there are. And so now, because I've been in about 10 films from being in Troll 2, that people wanting me in cameos or be from that to a lead. My community knows that I have been in a lot of films. In fact, one just got released yesterday on Amazon Prime that I'm in. It just came out, called The Hymn,
Uh-huh.
THEHEM, like the hymn in a wedding dress, and it's on Prime now.
Mm-hmm.
And you can watch it for a mere $3 or rent it for 10, or own it for 10. It's a Tyler Russell film.
Nice.
And I've been
Nice.
in about 6 of Tyler's films.
Nice. Yeah, so
Keeps casting me.
so like after the movie's over, you go back to dentistry, and then in 2006 you do that screening at the UCB, and that's what kind of gets you back into acting. People want to like work with you after that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't even know what was going on. I had no idea. I'd gotten married and had kids and moved back to Alabama and started my dental practice, and just kind of, the VHS copy fell behind the big old, 4 foot deep, thick TV that we had,
Mm-hmm.
and got lost behind there with collecting dust. So I never saw Troll 2 ever in its entirety until 17 years after it was made.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a phone call from a student from Furman. I'd love to know who that guy is. He changed my life pretty much in a lot of ways. And he said, "Hey, if you don't believe me, go to IMDb." And I had no idea. I didn't know what IMDb meant.
Mm-hmm.
Internet Movie Database. He says, "Yeah, Troll 2 is the number one worst film of all the millions of movies. It's rated number one right now as far as worst film."
Yeah.
So I go in and look, and I go, "Oh my goodness!" So I look. I'd never been to the page before, and it's late at night. It's April the 11th or something like that. And I scroll down and scroll down and scroll down into the forum, and I'm just about to close my eyes, and just at the very last sentence, I read, "Troll 2 cast reunion. All cast invited to come out for the first ever screening in the United States of Troll 2." 17 years later.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, I got to go. And this was 2006. And I'll be damned if I didn't pay $750 to go. I thought, oh, I'm going.
Yeah.
So I remember it cost me $700 because it's the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And I canceled some patients, and I flew out. And I got into Provo late, and they had a screening in downtown. in one of the buildings down there, and the guy that put it together was Blair Starrett, and Blair was he's the number one collector of memorabilia via OVHS tapes, and
Hmm.
he's just a huge fan of bad movies, and he's the one that put it together. And so I walk in, I got there late, and it's dark. The movie had already started, and I'll be damned after it's over with. I just got all of us. There were 6 of us out of the 7, out of the 13, 15 of us that were in the film. And we just got tackled with autographs. And I went, oh my gosh. And that's where I met Deborah again after all those years.
Hmm.
And Michael Stevenson wasn't there, but his family was. And Michael played my son in the movie. And I'll be damned if she was going to do a documentary on it. She says, George, there's an underground cult like crazy. And this is pre-Facebook on what was before Facebook? I forget the name of it.
Oh, MySpace.
MySpace. Yeah,
Mhm.
she said, oh God, it's on MySpace. It's everywhere, and there's underground parties with a troll. I said, you got to be kidding me. And she goes, no, it's a phenomenon. And so from that, Michael Stevenson and I finally met up. I flew out to Los Angeles later that year and met with Michael. And he says, hey, why don't we do a documentary around it? So I helped produce it with Michael, and we went to 28 cities in 8 countries and showed Troll 2 in landmark theaters. And we documented the fan base, just kind of like The Room, with Greg Sestero and Tommy Wiseau, of which Greg and I are good friends now. He's come over and visited me a couple times in Alabama.
Nice.
Anyway, the bottom line, yeah, it's cool. Greg's a great guy. But he's taking it up. He's way taking it further than us. He's been to about 1,500 or 1,600 countries, states, cities, showing Trolls The Room. And he's written the book, the book called The Disaster Artist.
Oh, yeah.
Seth Rogen took over. Anyway, and James Franco, his brother. But anyway, the bottom line is, we decided to make a documentary, and it's gone from there. After the documentary is made, then we showed the documentary to everyone, and that was and then we made it with Claudio and from Rosella. Claudio was the director and Rosella the writer.
Yeah.
And his wife, who's just passed away, by the way. I hate that. Anyway, the bottom line is this black lab just came up to me. He's gorgeous. Yeah, I'm out walking. Anyway, and Claudio Rosella, we got them to come over from Italy, and we made the documentary Best Worst Movie.
Have you ever seen Claudio's movie Monster Dog?
I have not.
Yeah.
It's just great. Claudio. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Alice
His
Cooper.
English is a lot better.
Yeah, it's Alice Cooper.
Oh, that's right.
It's a werewolf movie, and the guy who's overdubbing Alice's voice, and which I don't even know why he had a guy overdubbing him in the American version. Guy sounds like a really bad Edward G. Robinson.
Oh gosh, how funny!
Yeah.
Oh, well, Claudio knows Alice at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think is a very interesting person. He's supposed to be an incredible golfer.
Yeah.
I went to an Alice Cooper concert about
too.
5 years ago. He was phenomenal.
I went in 2000. I saw him, and oh my God, he was a showman. Do you remember the way? Do you remember the way he died at the end? Alice always dies. Alice always dies at the end of every show.
The guillotine or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, he does the guillotine or he gets hung or electrocuted.
The huge baby, the huge dancing baby and all. Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah. He's a showman. He's a showman.
He really, really is.
You did a movie with Fred Willard called Here Comes Rusty. What was it like working with him?
Well, that all comes again from Tyler Russell. And Tyler called me because he was a huge Troll 2 fan, filming in Mobile, Alabama, and that was the start of me being in Tyler's films, and the Colonel Bruce Hampton was also in the film,
Mhm.
and this, and then of course I loved Fred Willard. Oh my gosh, best
Oh,
of show.
the best
He's just amazing, one of the funniest comedians ever.
ever.
I think he
Yeah.
was on Johnny Carson like 10 or 15 times,
Oh
just
yeah.
the greatest stuff.
Even with his
But
improv
I didn't
group.
get to meet.
Yeah. Even with his
I
imp.
didn't get to meet Fred, but
Uh huh.
Tyler worked with Fred and got to really know Fred. So what an honor to be in a movie with Fred Willard and Bruce Hampton, who, unfortunately passed away on stage in Atlanta on New Year's Eve. I think that was the day. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was even on the
Yeah.
Tonight Show with his improv group, the Ace Trucking Company. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, back in the day. Oh my gosh, yeah. So yeah, that was the start of me with Tyler with that, and then he cast me as the lead in Texas Cotton, which was made pre-COVID in 2017, and then I played the dermatologist in Cyst, and we just finished up filming. That was in Maryland
hmm
with the Nicole Kidman of Germany, Eva Haberman. Eva
uh-huh,
came over, and I went over to Germany and filmed in her film. It was an homage to Troll 2 called Under Control, with
hmm
fans from Germany who wrote the script. And so I was able to go and meet Germans and film an homage to Troll 2 in Germany, in Baden-Baden.
hmm
And then we just finished up The Hymn, which just premiered yesterday on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna check out that movie because I have Amazon Prime.
Yeah, watch it. You guys watch it. The listening audience, watch it. And watch Texas Cotton too. That's a good Western New Orleans. I think people are like that. I was with the great Gene Jones in many scenes in that film, and also Jason Douglas, the voice of Dragon Ball Z, and then the great Lou Temple from Walking Dead, and Tiffany
hmm
Shepis, the Scream Queen,
I know
and
Tiffany.
oh my
Yeah,
goodness, Tiffany's wonderful. You just love Tiffany. She and I are good buddies.
she's a
I just
character.
love her. Tiffany, she is. She's my co sidekick in Texas Cotton, and
Yeah.
yeah. But Eva came over and we filmed Cyst, which is hilarious, and
hmm
it's just campy, fun, gross. Not too gross, but gross enough.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah.
Do you
But
have?
I got to meet Lou Temple in House of Forbidden Secrets.
Uh,
Yeah, so that was fun. Filmed that in Kansas City,
mm.
with Todd Sheets film.
Oh, I know Todd.
So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, Todd.
yeah.
I was in Todd's film. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then Mickey Reese kidnapped me, and we filmed up in Nashville in one of his films. So it's
hmm
fun working with a lot of different directors and screenwriters and cinematographers and of course, other actors. Gene Jones was just amazing to work with.
hmm
Gene was in No Country for Old Men in the famous coin toss scene, and so that was really great to be working along his side. Wow, that's in Texas Cotton, working with Gene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So do you have any?
love Gene.
Do you have any convention appearances coming up?
That's one thing I don't know much about. I haven't really, I don't know. I haven't been invited or reached out, to go a couple times. I know that Darren Ewing goes to several, but I haven't done that yet. It'd be kind of fun to do that, maybe. The
hmm
older I get.
Yeah.
Mm.
So do you have anything else coming up? Any movies or anything?
Well, I'm pretty much latched into Tyler's work, and he and I mean, like I said, I've been in 5 of his films or 6, and so we're always kind of talking it up and wanting to do the last film that we did is a found footage film. The
hmm
Hymn, HEM,
Yeah.
is a found footage film. So that was fun to make, and so I think that's something that, and it's a really well done found footage film, very well done. I'd say it's edited. It's just very well edited. I think for it to come together the way it did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
well, George, I thank you so much for coming on today, and I hope you have.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Yeah, I hope if you guys haven't seen what we're talking about, Troll 2, then listen in. This is probably my 500th interview. And I really am serious. People are all the time wanting to talk to one of the cast members from Troll 2 if they are fans. And so if you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. And then the other films, if you wanted to see me and some of the other, and my other work in a different light, Texas Cotton would be the one big one there you could watch. It's doing really well. It's Indie Rights has it, and then Under Control over in Germany, but Cyst is another, and then now The Hymn. It's a lot of fun doing crazy things. Oh, I think I'm in some films with Lloyd Kaufman. I know I'm in Street Team Massive. Never met Lloyd, which Tiffany's good friends with, but he and I've been in about 3 or 4 of his films.
Yeah.
So you can IMDb that. Have you met Lloyd Kaufman before?
No, I've actually been trying to get him on here for a long time. I know.
Yeah.
I see him on a lot of other podcasts. I'm like, God, how did they get through? Hopefully in the future
Sure.
I'll get him.
Yeah. Well, Tiffany might be able to help you out with that. She has a connection there. Hey, what a pleasure to talk to you. And I know you've got a wonderful little audience out there listening in when you do edit and put this together. And what a pleasure to be a part of your efforts to make people happier in a kind of a troubled world right now. It's all about having a good sense of humor, isn't it? That's what it's all about. My dad always said, son, if you ever lose your sense of humor, you've lost everything. And that's really true. You just got to have that sense of humor and laugh,
I agree.
Yeah.
You have a happy holiday season. Be safe.
Thank you so much, Tommy.
And
okay.
Don't walk too far. Bye-bye.
Oh, I can't. Not with this knee. Right knee surgery is next. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. George Hardy. Ain't he a cool dude? Man, what a southern, hospitable guy. I loved talking to that guy. Yeah, I'll go check out him on Amazon Prime. And I have a feeling it's probably an interesting movie. We shall see. Well, until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.